Do you ever wonder why certain movies are simply a disaster? Are they truly garbage? Or perhaps they are misunderstood?
Welcome to the main course of cinematic catastrophe that is Le Crap, with your gourmet, Chef Bri and Chef Gio.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Lay Crap. My name is Bri.
And I am the Guyver.
Yes, he is the Gio. So this is part 2 of our, I guess, 2-episode retrospective over the Guyver film series. I think there's, 4 of these?
Well, there's 2 live-action ones. I think there was, one OVA and then a couple of anime series. But yeah, this is the second of 2 live-action ones.
Okay. So, as with the last episode, the Guyver had some good things going through it, but overall it's not the worst anime manga adaptation that I've seen. No, I've seen some really bad ones. But it's just kind of whatever and forgettable that if it wasn't for the makeup, I don't think anyone would really think anything of this. So when the sequel that everyone just kind of collectively shrugged and said, okay, sure, why not, came out 3 years later, something interesting happened.
Yeah, so with the last one, really the big thing that was going for it was, of course, the creature design. But other than that, it was really held back by a bare bones plot, bare bones characters, very weird pacing, lackluster action scenes, bizarre musical choices, and an odd sense of slapstick. It's just there was a lot going against it. But despite there being a mixed reaction from fans and critics, it did do well enough to warrant the sequel. Now, here's the thing. The sequel came out 3 years later, and let me tell you who came back for it from the original. So I mentioned before that the action scenes in the first movie were directed by Steve Wang. He comes back as the full director.
Ooh.
And that's everybody that came back from the original. None of the same crew, none of the same actors. Pretty much anybody who was in the first movie has been recast. Also, the budget was only a fraction of the original's $3 million. The budget at this one was estimated at around $800,000 to $900,000.
Ooh, so we have, I guess we would call an indie film here. Also, in terms of, the cast and crew, maybe it was for the best.
Yeah. No Jack Armstrong, and especially no Jimmy Walker as MC Stryker.
Oh, God. You know, the incredible thing is, we kept thinking it the entire time we were watching it, but then when we were actually, reviewing it, we're like, hey, is this kind of racist and minstrel-y to you? It is? Okay, cool, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, when your character opens his mouth and the first thing I think is Jar Jar Binks, that's not a good sign.
Misa not think it's a good sign at all.
Good God damn it. But yes, pretty much every role in this is a recast, including the titular Sean Barker. Now, instead of Jack Armstrong, he is being played by a then 25-year-old Canadian-American actor by the name of David Hayter. Now, you might know Hayter from writing the screenplay for the first 2 X-Men films, as well as also writing a screenplay for 2009's Watchmen movie. And he also had a good few number of voice acting roles during the 90s, including voicing Captain America in the 90s Spider-Man series. But there's a
little character.
There's one character that he is perhaps best known for. Roll the clip.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Yes, friends, our titular Guyver for this evening is none other than the iconic, raspy, ever-questioning voice of Solid Snake from the Metal Gear franchise. Oh, did that catch me off guard when I looked at the cast.
Honestly, David Hayter's career is kind of incredible. He's literally been, everywhere. Like, literally could be considered the godfather of the modern comic book movie. Basically made Kojima, like, a household name. Like, really, his career is kind of ridiculous that it's kind of a shame that unless you're in, like, super nerdy spaces, he's never really been given his flowers.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a shame he doesn't get the credit that he should have for not just for like voice acting roles, but just for like his writing and production work too. Like, here's a fun fact. Did you know that like after the 2 X-Men movies, Marvel actually conscripted him to do a script for a Black Widow movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
God, if there was a reality where Josh Whedon never touched Black Widow, oh God, I want to live in that world so badly.
Yeah, and even though that never went through, he actually named his daughter Natasha after the character.
Aww.
Yeah, David Hayter is awesome, and like I've never seen like any live action work from him. I basically just know him as a lot of people know him as Colonel, trying to sneak around. I'm dummy thick.
You know, it's a shame. I know it'll never happen. But if they ever get that Smash Bros. Movies off the ground, I am begging on my knees, pleading to whatever deity is out there, please, please get Snake in the movie. I know he's not a Nintendo character, and it would be a rights issue, but please, look, if we can get Sonic and frickin' Wreck-It Ralph, like, please, I am begging.
Yes, please, please. I mean, he would deserve that, right? Considering he was the first, like, non-Nintendo character in a Smash game, along with Sonic, of course. But honestly, with it being Illumination, they would probably go with Sonic instead of Snake, which would be a shame. But yeah, that's probably what would happen.
But I'd argue it'd be Snake would be funnier. Just have him be like so like serious, and every time he just tries to sneak around, just the the sounds plays.
Yeah, just have him be like just normal Snake interacting with freaking Chris Pratt Mario. But here's another fun fact. Apparently during the 90s when Hayter was still doing a lot of voice acting for anime, he would actually use Sean Barker as an alias.
That is incredible.
No, as for the movie itself, even though it had a lower budget and it was direct-to-video only, it was actually received better than the first movie, with a lot of fans appreciating that it was more accurate to the source material. It's actually rated R instead of the PG-13 of the first one. It's a lot darker and more violent. And from what I read, it actually does take like some lines in text from the manga and like repeats it verbatim.
Huh, interesting.
I think they might have learned their lesson from the first time around of like, yeah, the first time wasn't particularly good. Let's see how we could fix it.
And that's kind of rare that you get the opportunity, even though it is still like direct to video. I mean, it's not like this was like a major blockbuster. It didn't get pushed off, to direct to video land, the land of the trash. But the fact that it actually gets better with the sequel, like even for like movies that their original is good, it's so rare that you get a sequel that's better than the original.
Yeah, that does not happen very often. I'm interested to see how they do this one, because the fact that it cost only a fraction of the budget, but apparently is like much better than the first one, I'm curious.
I mean, because again, we don't know too much about this franchise, and after last episode, like our expectations aren't cratered, but I would say they're fairly in the lower tier. So I'm kind of curious if it lives up to the hype.
Just as long as there's no racially offensive aliens rapping, I think we're in good territory.
Yeah, as long as we don't hear dy-no-mite, I think we're okay.
God, I can't believe they actually did that.
All right, so per rules of this podcast, Gio and I are going to get our Guyver suits on, because there's 2 now, because I said so, and we're going to watch the movie, and when we come back after I play some trailer nonsense, we will give you our thoughts.
That'd actually be more manga accurate, actually.
Damn it.
There is a line between good mango.
Yeah, right.
And evil. Between light and darkness.
Don't kill me.
Sean Barker has crossed that line. He's been drawn here by a power.
Everybody here knows what we're digging for.
By a force.
I see it in my dreams and I put it down on paper.
He doesn't understand.
Who are you? The Guyver, he's here.
Out of the darkness.
Let's find it together.
Out of the shadows. A new breed of hero. A dark hero.
Guyver.
Ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary pals, we have ourselves a miracle. A miracle of miracles. And its name is Guyver Dark Hero. Finally, our first actually unironically good movie of 2026. Holy crap.
Oh my god. You know, it is crazy that we've done two-parters now, and both times the second movie turned out to be genuinely good.
I know. Like, when we get to, like, another milestone, we're gonna have to do a new tier list with, like, the 50 current ones, because I feel like it should just be the newer ones, because I don't think our opinions are gonna change that much, and I don't feel like re-talking about certain movies again, but yeah, this is definitely an S tier.
Oh, 110%. Like, it is absurd how with less than a third of the budget of the first movie, they somehow managed to improve on it in every single way. Like, everything that we complained about the first one, they fixed it. It is nuts.
It's nuts. Like, this is so good, it's actually making me want to seek out the manga.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to hunt down, like, a copy of the manga, but so far, no such luck.
There's always the wiki, but holy crap. And this isn't, like, just us gassing it up. Legitimately, this is, like, it's well shot. I mean, is the story the most revolutionary thing in the world? No. But you know what? This movie, like, in terms of, like, the vibes and feel and, like, the music kind of reminds me of T2.
Yeah, especially the music. The PG-13 rating of the first one did it no favors.
Oh, absolutely zero.
It is crazy how much better. Like, it feels like there's an actual story, and, like, the action is good, and the acting is good. But yeah, it's just crazy that everything that we talked about in the first one, they improved on it. Like, the story was better, the acting was better, the creatures, crazily enough, which was the highlight of the original, looked better. Like, in hindsight, the monster designs in the first one were good, but they were very Power Rangers-esque.
Power Rangers with a little splice of, like, gremlins.
This time around, they actually looked a lot scarier and, like, a lot more fluid. I think they had, like, some... Because I saw credit for, like, computer-generated imagery artists, so...
Yeah, you can see some early 90s CG shots, but I think when they're transforming, you know, doing, like, the CG morph, like, I think it was like that, because, again, it was 1994, like, VFX. Like, just for comparison, the year before this is the year Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah, so clearly we weren't, like, entirely there yet, but it was still convincing enough. They actually synced the mouth movements up pretty good.
Yeah, because, I mean, they did have some animatronics in, like, the first movie, but, like, whatever system that they used to articulate it, like, the mechanical movements were a lot more fluid.
Yeah, and, like, even, like, just the VFX... And it just, everything just, this felt like what the first one could have been if they had just let them cook a little more.
and actually have jokes and humor that feel in tone with the rest of the movie instead of having it come to a screeching halt.
Oh, 100%. Let me just reiterate, this movie had less than a third of the budget of the first one, and it still came out like 10 times better, I think.
Yeah, not only that, it's like a half hour longer, so it's like, what is this? Pacing? Actual structure? Like an actual 3-act structure that naturally climaxes?
It's nuts. It's nuts. So, I guess to summarize, like, from the very beginning, we are already in much better territory.
Like, literally from the first frame.
Like, instead of the stupid, annoying text crawl in the original, we've got just Sean himself just narrating about, like, it's been a while.
I think it's like a year after the first movie.
Yeah, it's like a year later, he took down Kronos, but the Guyver's still driving him to kill and cause violence. And one of the big complaints that I think we both had about the original was that you really don't see, like, what effects that having this alien symbiote attached to him was having on his life. And that's corrected, like, in the first 5 minutes. Not just from this monologue, but what we also see of his life.
Oh, yeah, his life sucks.
It's like, it's constant nightmares. The Guyver's like pushing him to kill. He ends up breaking up with Mitsuki within like the first like 10 minutes. It's like you could see like he is miserable. Like this is Peter Parker levels of misery. Like this is absolutely ruining his life.
The Guyver unit. It's been a year since the alien armor invaded my body and became a part of me. A year since I first became the Guyver.
Alright, so already we're off to a better start.
The zoonoids.
You should look at babyface David Hayter.
He has babyface there. Okay, hella sick having our sort of Venom moment.
Also, it looks like they changed the name of, or they changed how Kronos is spelled. So, in the original, they spelled it with a CH, but here they spell it with a K, which I think was how it was in the manga.
Oh my god, you know what I'm just realizing? In The Incredibles, the Password Syndrome uses like Kronos and it's spelled like the same way. It's probably a reference to this.
That would actually be kind of crazy if it was.
Hi, Miski. Look, I'm ready to try to make things better.
I saw the papers this morning. It doesn't look like anything's better.
I didn't come here to talk about that.
The security guard died, Sean. And those gangsters? How many people are you gonna have to kill before you realize...
I don't kill. It kills.
Sean, listen to yourself. You've got to stop this.
You won't let me.
That's crazy.
This isn't gonna work, is it?
Like, already this is addressing, like, one of my big complaints was that they didn't show, like, any of, like, how having this symbiotic monstrosity attached to him was, like, adversely affecting him.
Yeah.
And, like, already we're seeing it, like, adversely affecting him.
Yeah, like, his life's shit. I mean, he's hitchhiking to Utah.
Yeah, now he has to go to Utah. It doesn't get lower than that.
God damn it.
So, after, like, an opening sequence where he's stopping, like, a theft on the docks somewhere.
It's like a drug smuggling sort of deal.
Yeah. After he deals with that, and you could see right off the bat that this movie is way more violent than the first one. Like, you see actual blood on a lot of it.
Oh, and like in the first few minutes, we get like a very solid F-bomb.
Yeah, like there was cursing in the first one, but
It was mostly like shit. You know, like very like shonen anime-esque dialogue.
Yeah, here they're dropping hard F-bombs and saying, bitch. So he, like, rips these guys apart. And another complaint I had was just how clumsy the action was and how clearly uncomfortable he was in the first movie, just wearing the suit. Not so much here.
No, the action is so well done. Like, it's almost, like, hurts how good it is.
And we're going to say it right here. David Hayter is such a much better Sean than...
Oh my god, it's like going from a Ford Fiesta to a fucking Ferrari.
It is crazy. Like, he actually plays the role with, like, you could feel, like, the suffering from this guy. It's crazy. I think David Hayter was only, what did I say, like 25 at the time?
Oh yeah, no, he's babyface here.
And he's still 4 years shy of voicing Snake. And he was already, like, kind of eating it here.
Oh yeah, no, he was fully, like, cooking, like, 5-star Michelin dining. But, like, even, like, his opening monologue, like, here's, like, the weird thing. He makes Sean into, like, an actual character. And Sean actually has, like, a character arc, which we'll get into the plot later. But literally, Sean is driving his own story forward.
Exactly. Like, it's not the plot driving the characters forward. It's Sean taking the initiative and involving himself in ongoing events. So what happens is, after he resolves the drug smuggling thing and he goes back home and he starts having all these nightmares, and he sees a news report of these weird happenings in Utah where, I don't know if he's like a hunter or a farmer, but he claims to have seen like a werewolf creature. And on the news report, he sees like all these like drawings of like cave paintings that were dug up by this archaeological team. And then he recognizes them because he's been drawing these symbols for months. So now he gets the idea of, oh no, I might not have gotten rid of all of them.
Which I was reading up when I was watching, but apparently the different divisions is like a thing from the manga. Because I think in the manga, it mostly takes place in the Japanese division.
Yeah, which makes sense. Because I think in the manga, Kronos actually does end up, like, taking over the world at one point. So it's very easily, like, not just a small little conglomerate. I'm getting big Umbrella Corps vibes from Kronos here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So he realizes that the job's not done. He tries talking to Mitsuki about it, about he needs to go and like figure this out. She's like, you're being ridiculous. Kronos is dead. You can't keep doing this anymore. You can't keep killing people. And he's like, no, it's not me doing it. It's the suit. So they break up again within like the first like 10 minutes. And he makes his way over to Utah. He tries asking around about this archaeological dig. He meets Corey, who's like part of the archaeology team. She reluctantly brings him over.
Please take me there.
Sorry, I don't think so.
Wait, I need to know.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Will you wait a second?
Would you back away from the truck, please?
Wait, I need to know.
You know, the fact we're barely talking, we're actually engaging with this, just speaks volumes.
Oh, 100%.
Haha.
Get in, loser.
I'm Corey Edwards. I'm a researcher up at the dig. And you are?
Sean Barker.
Uh-huh. And?
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to freak you out back there. It's just... this is important to me. Why'd you come back?
Because I'm a scientist. I know what it's like to need to know.
I can dig it. Ha.
Corey, over here. Take a look at this.
Like, it is impressive, like, how much better the music is. Like, it actually makes the soundtrack from the last movie somehow even worse.
There's a lot about this that makes this first one look worse. And just the fact that they did it at a fraction of the budget, too.
Yeah, like, what is this? Tone? Atmosphere?
Like, the fact that unlike the first one, it's not trying to fill every second with noise. And they're just letting scenes sit.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, even the way it's shot is more interesting. Like, to me, this feels more like it's shot like an actual movie. Because it is.
I'm tired of them treating this expedition like an oil well.
I know, but they're management.
Well, you and I had an agreement. I find you your pay dirt, but I run the show my way.
Hey, that's what I want. And I'm going to keep them off as long as I can.
Now, like, the archaeological dig, it's run by her dad, Crane, who's, like, funding the dig, and then I forget what the guy who, the government agent's name was.
Let me look up. Alright, his name's Commander Atkins.
Atkins, okay.
But already, like, this guy is, like, a better cop than Max. Sorry, Officer Skywalker.
Oh, but I actually did read a summary of the first one, and it turns out that he wasn't really a cop, he was with the CIA.
I never got that. But, I mean, aren't the CIA basically super cops anyway?
I mean, yeah, but not really important here. Anyways, so he goes into this cave, he sees, like, all these, like, cave drawings resembling the ones that he's been drawing up, and he's, like, being, like, evasive, like, not really talking to Corey about, like, the real reason that he's there. Like, he just says that it's because he sees these symbols in his dreams, but also she's not really being upfront with, like, why they're digging here. And, like, they find bones resembling, like, the Zoonoids from the first one. So it's like, no one's really talking now. So then the hunter who gave the first report and this, like, reporter dude are, like, walking around in the woods, and they get attacked by, well, what the archaeology team thinks is, like, a bear or, like, something else, like, attacking people. So they're walking around in the woods, and they get attacked by this thing. I think it was supposed to be, like, a rhino-esque thing. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, it's very Rhino-inspired.
Yeah, we'll just call him Rocksteady.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Rocksteady, like, attacks the hunter and the reporter dude. Sean sneaks away, he turns Guyver, and he's like, what are you doing here? I got rid of all of you. So they have a big fight scene, and again, this is where we say, like, the fight scenes here, 100 times better than the first movie. Like, it's better choreography, David Hayter is clearly not uncomfortable in the suit, even all the stunts are, like, way more fluid. These feel like actual fight scenes and not, like, clumsy dance parties.
I mean, I feel like it's more convincing that when they switch over to the, stunt guy and then, like, David, like, in the suit, which I'm assuming for, like, the close-ups and, like, the dialogue things that's him. Like, there seems to be, like, more of an ebb and flow to convince us that this is the same guy.
Yeah, like, I never really noticed that there was any real difference. Like, I was almost starting to think for a second, is this just David doing it himself?
But then the credits were there, and there was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't have been shocked, but...
No, I wouldn't either.
So Sean realizes that there's somebody in the camp who is a zoonoid and there's something up. Meanwhile, so Atkins is a government agent, but he's, like, undercover as, like, a professor or something. And he catches wind that there's something going on with Sean. Yeah, so Atkins is, like, trying to grill Sean, like, what was that in the woods?
Touché.
What was that?
I don't know. I heard someone shouting.
No, it could be another bear attack.
You go and get help. I'll take care of the bear.
Right.
She's like, wait a second.
Take care of the bear?
She's like, wait, what?
Shit.
Even, like, the humor's funnier here.
Yeah, and it's like they're not, like, stopping the movie to do, like, a dumb little skit or anything.
Yeah.
Screw the picture, you brain dead AC! Shoot it!
Even the makeup's better.
What about my money? Shoot it! Shoot it!
Even his like fighting stance doesn't feel as dorky as the original.
Yeah, no, like even that jump looks better. Okay, that's actually cool. Like the fight choreography, like every punch feels like it has weight.
And like he doesn't feel like as clumsy in the suit, like way far from it.
Yeah, see the editing is here right better because they're like editing on like each punch so that it feels like it has weight because it's like so edit beat, yeah, hit. Because see when you edit quicker, it can make things feel more rapid fire. Like this actually feels like a super suit now instead of just some guy in a weird costume.
And like, even though it's kind of dark, I will say, this guy looks way scarier than anything from the first movie. Like, the first movie, like, the makeup was good, the creature work was good, but it was very Power Rangers-esque. This actually looks scary.
But see, this is where having, like, good lighting actually helps. You know, by obscuring stuff, you make things scarier. Like, it's mood and vibes. Sometimes, like, having stuff look darker just makes it look better.
Sean's not talking, and God, I'm trying to think, like...
Because I don't want to slip it around in my head. So, they go in the woods, and then doesn't she, like, see them? And he's like, yeah, what's up? And then they start excavating, and then eventually they find the ship, right?
Oh, yeah. So they find the ship. They find this big ship, like, hidden in the cave. They go walking around in there for a bit, searching around. Sean goes to, like, finds this, like, control center, I guess. And he's, like, trying to talk to, like, the central control. And he's like, why did you bring me here? Why did you call me here? I don't want this anymore. I just want to be normal. And it's like, already you're seeing, it's like, wait. He actually made him a character.
I know, which is like, it's so crazy. Like, when you have like literally nothing to work with, and then you're getting like all the food at once. It looks like that one Schiffer like clip from Sabrina the Teenage Witch when basically she's having all like the different pancakes and breakfast foods like shoved in her face.
So while they're digging around in the ship, Corey ends up finding another Guyver unit, which Crane and his lackeys immediately take. She finds intense issue with, and dare I say it, she is a way better love interest than Mitsuki was in the first one.
Yeah, like their chemistry feels more genuine. Like it's pretty early on. Like you're like, okay, like all right, but genuinely, like she had an interest to be interested in him, not just the girlfriend. She's here. Oh no.
Yeah, plus she takes like way more initiative. Like, yeah, she gets taken like once or twice, but she fights back. Like, she has like way more involvement here. So they take away the second Guyver suit. Sean finally starts talking to Corey, tells her like all about like the Guyvers and like Kronos, because Atkins had told Sean about how Kronos isn't gone. It was just the LA branch. And he's like, yeah, I'm already calling in all my government people. It's like, we're going to take what's on the ship. And it's like, okay, would that really be much better?
Yeah.
Atkins is out there. Everything's under control.
Not so sure about that. Besides, it doesn't matter who wins. I doubt the government is any more responsible than Kronos.
No, we can't. All that knowledge. I'll never get a chance to do the research.
Neither will I. But if we don't destroy it, too many people will die fighting for it.
We about to have some Guyver on Guyver action here.
Oh, hell yeah.
What gets me is that I have spent my whole life
they
working
dy-no-mite
toward this.
in there.
Oh,
Always scared that I was chasing some pipe dream.
Which Sean also gets in his mind, like, no, that would absolutely not be a better option. He tells Corey all about this stuff. She tries to find Crane, overhears that they're planning on disposing of the archaeology team. She gets found out. They start taking her away. And then she gets saved by this other zoonoid creature, who we quickly realize is her dad. Meanwhile, Does Sean go back to the ship, or does he, like...
I think he's in the cave, he's like back Jiff, and then he asks, hey, where is she?
Oh, yeah. So this is where, like, he has his talk with Crane, where Crane, like, realizes, like, he's the Guyver, tries to convince him to, like, work with them, say, like, oh, we can take the Guyver out, we can make you normal again. Sean quickly smells the bullshit, so they knock him out, try to sedate him, but Atkins saves him. He goes Guyver, he goes running after...
Yeah, after Atkins says, no, stay behind, and Sean's like, I don't work for you, bitch. And so he grabs the Jeep, and then he just starts booking it.
Yeah, he floors it. He goes to the edge of a cliff, calls out for Corey, realizes where she is, jumps off of the cliff, turns Guyver in midair, books it, saves her from the cronies who have, like, already, like, transformed, like, after pretty brutally executing both of them.
Oh, damn, he's gonna jump from there. Holy shit.
Oh, he is actually just gonna go.
Yeah. Holy crap. Honestly, that VFX wasn't bad for 1994. Oh, he is trucking. It is incredible, like, how better this movie is in, like, every single aspect.
It is nuts. And again, at, like, less than a third of the budget.
Yeah, like, the shots are dynamic. Like, you can follow the action.
And it doesn't feel clunky.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, warehouse fight 1, warehouse fight 2, street fight, warehouse fight 3. Damn.
Ooh.
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 Like, damn, like, no mercy. Yeah, that was like, I mean, we're not talking about just like blood violence, like, we're talking throats ripped out and shit.
Yeah, like, I think he beheads the one and then, like, hacks up the other one before, like, finally, like, stabbing him through the skull or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Like, he just goes ballistic. So he takes them out. Him and Corey are like, all right, what do we need to do now? And he's like, well, we need to destroy the ship. He's like, it doesn't matter if it's Kronos or the government that gets their hands on it. It won't end well either way. So Atkins' government buddies show up. They start to arrest the Kronos people. The Kronos people turn the tables. They kill the government guys. They take Atkins hostage.
Yeah, and they kill them, like, really, like, brutally.
So they're back in the cave, and they had a box that said dy-no-mite on it.
And we're like, okay, that's a fun Easter egg. And we're like, ha, 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 ha.
So they start setting up dynamite charges around the ship.
Because they're like, damn, we can't let us have it. And she's like, but, oh, spaceship, I want to learn. And Sean's like, no, we are ending this.
Yeah, and she's like, you know, we were working for 5 years to find this thing, and now we're just going to blow it up. And Sean's like, do you really want them to get their hands on it?
And she's like, No. Bye-bye, spaceship.
So Kronos people show up and Sean goes back on the ship. He's like, why do you keep calling me here? And then he realizes, oh, it's not me you want to talk to, is it? So he turns into the Guyver and the ship starts showing him like all these visions of like when the Guyvers were and like the Zoonoids first showed up on Earth. Finds out that the Guyvers were intended to be weapons. Meanwhile, the Kronos people, they show up, they take everyone hostage, and Sean shows up in the suit. This is where like the big like climactic fight scene happens, and again, a lot better action, a lot more brutal action.
Yeah, and like the weird thing is it's like oddly like more intimate. Like they're in this cave, but basically the big things is that you just have like the cave and the scaffolding. Like I still cannot get over like how easy to follow the action is. Like some of it's a little, Super Sentai, Power Rangers anime-esque. I mean, it would be kind of hard to like not have that to an extent, but a lot of it, like the way that it's edited and like with mixed with the fight choreography, like every punch and kick hits. Like you feel it.
Yeah, like it's nowhere near as like clunky as the first one. It's not clumsy. You are actually convinced that like this feels like a fight. These feel like actual fight scenes and not like bad dance numbers.
The editing in this movie is actually like really good. Like the fast cuts just make everything feel like so faster. Like you actually believe that Sean is like a super soldier. That when they play the little jet sounds that he moves, that he can move that fast. Like you believe that this guy is, a mutant suit.
Yeah, like even when he's just in his like normal attire, like David Hayter looks like he could be a vigilante, and they even put him in like an army jacket, and I think he has dog tags on. So it's like he's definitely more like convincing as like an armored vigilante. So the big fight scene happens. Atkins gets like the briefcase with the Guyver suit in it. Corey's dad shows up. He transforms, but he gets killed. And Atkins opens up the briefcase and realizes, oh no, the suit's gone.
Ruh-roh.
So Crane does his evil villain laugh, reveals that he took the suit, and while transformed already into a Zoonoid, he puts on the Guyver suit, which honestly looks crazy.
Oh yeah, it looks cool and crazy as hell. And you know what? I have to give them legitimate credit. They didn't just make like Sean's suit, but in a slightly different color. Like this is made for him, so you actually kind of believe that this is like a bioorganism.
Oh yeah, like they could have taken the easy way out and just like made another version of the suit but like a different color, but no, this is like his transformed state but with the Guyver suit on top of it. But his suit is like damaged and like unstable, and like you see him like twitching.
Yeah, like he's getting like electrocuted and like other shit, and Sean's like, yo, you like step down, like this thing is probably gonna kill you. And he's like, no, I'm evolved. Which can I say? Like, I'm not gonna say that he's like, one of the best villains of like all time, but he's a really good villain. And the fact that he's kind of set up early enough, it's like, wow. Imagine actually setting stuff up. And you know what? This movie made me really appreciate, like, I know this, aspects are important. And you really notice them when they aren't in a movie. Like, when you know something's, like, not cooking or something is just, like, done completely wrong, as we saw with, like, the last movie and with Suspicious Leah. But when it's done right, I feel like not only as a viewer, but if someone who kind of does this for a living or has a passion for writing and movies, you like really appreciate shit like this.
Oh, 100%. And the fight scene's done really well. Like, Sean whips out like his backwards arm blades, and then Crane whips out the fucking like Wolverine claws, big long claws. It just goes crazy. And it ends with Corey actually shooting him like dead center in where the Guyver like orb
Weak point is.
He starts malfunctioning. Sean takes advantage, rips out the orb. He starts like melting down, and then
Just for safe measure,
like pulls open like his own chest and fires off that beam, which even the beam compared to like the first movie is like way better looking and way more like hype.
Yeah, like even though it's not as explodey, like anime-ass, like big beam, like it feels more grounded to reality. And like you see this guy basically having his skin melted off, and like he is just like thermo nuked.
Oh, he just completely like disintegrates into nothing.
You didn't. So tell me, who's going to protect the Protector? Biomorph!
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Guyver's so annoying. The next step. You don't know what you're doing, Crane. That unit's damaged. You have no idea what it'll do to you. But it'll do you just fine.
I can't believe how good this movie actually is.
It's insane. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. Out of all the movies we've watched for this, I think this one might be my favorite.
Oh yeah, in terms of like it being an actual good movie, like the rare actual diamond.
It's crazy that we've done 2 of these 2-parters now, and both times the second movie turned out to be a diamond in the rough.
That's actually crazy. It's like 2 nickels. It's weird that it's happened twice.
How does it feel to be obsolete? Outclassed by a new model.
Oh damn! Got it right in the middle ball.
Even that was better.
I know.
So Atkins is like, "Oh, good job, kid. Now the government's gonna take this ship and it'll be in safe hands." And then Sean's like,
Sean's like, "Are you kidding me, bro? No!"
Absolutely not. So he activates a mechanism, the ship activates, and he's like, "I'm sending this thing home." The ship flies off. Like, Sean and Corey start to leave, and Atkins is like, "Come on, kid, we're gonna start like an underground war against Kronos. We need your help." And then Sean's like, "Nah, bro, I'm out." And so they drive off, and that's the end.
Well, I mean, he does leave the door open because Atkins says, "Where would I find you?" So he's like, "I know we'll see each other again, bro." But yeah, then they just ride off into the sunset. Like, here's the thing I love. His life isn't magically better, but he's like, okay, I got dealt a bad hand, but I'm gonna do my best to make sure that if I have this suit and I have to deal with this shit, that these fuckers go down.
Yeah, like after the fighting happens and like him and Corey are talking, she's like, "Well, it looks like you found your destiny." And then he's like, "No, I saw the truth. Like the Guyvers are just tools and weapons. I have no destiny." And then she drops like the unironically hard line of, "No, you made your own." So his life isn't like fixed or anything, but he's in a better spot now than at the start, at least.
Yeah, he completes his arc of like accepting, he's never gonna get his whole life back. He's the Guyver. and he's just gonna make sure that Kronos doesn't hurt anyone again.
Which is a lot more than we could say about the first one.
Honestly, I didn't even hate the first one. I was just kind of like, whatever. And you know what? I still don't think I hate it. But my God, this movie makes it so much worse.
Oh, for sure. It's like every single thing that we didn't like about the first one, they take it and they improve the hell out of it. And even like the creature designs, which we liked, I felt were better this time around.
Not only that, but the jokes, again, there are some parts of this movie that were actually funny.
Yeah, but not in the goofy, intrusive way of the first one.
One of my favorite moments was when Atkins fights the female Zoanoid, and then she's down and she's depowered to her human state. He's like, bitch.
Oh yeah, finishes her off and then just says, bitch. Which it was made funnier by the fact that an ad break happened after he shot her, and then when they came back, it's just him saying, bitch. Which, we'll also say this, we watched this on YouTube. I thought it was going to be a lot more intrusive with the ads, especially after one started 5 seconds in, but it honestly wasn't too bad. I think there was one point where we went almost an hour without an ad break.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the channel and the revenue. I don't know half the time. YouTube's a very flawed platform, brilliant creators on it, but because I texted you earlier in the day about this, but in their infinite wisdom of not actually hiring human beings to moderate the site, they put the 4th episode of The Amazing Digital Circus, which is where they go on an adventure at a fast food restaurant, where not only is there very creepypasta-esque imagery, one character gets thrown in a vat of boiling oil. Another one basically runs into the street, and you could interpret it as, self-harm. But then they get hit by a truck. And then, then one of the other characters, Ragatha, who's the ragdoll character, gets high off of silly sauce, which is basically supposed to be LSD. But yes, for kids! They marked it for kids, which, not only does that, mess up with their monetization, which I could go to a whole rant about YouTube fucking over, animation or whatever, but, that's gonna be in the YouTube Kids app. That's no good.
Yeah. For all the claims that they're just trying to protect children, really not doing a good job, are they?
No, because we don't actually give a shit about kids, which I'm glad that this one wasn't on the kids app because, again, I don't think we've really kind of stated enough. Is this movie the goriest thing I've seen? No. But it is, ultra violent. And if you were, a kid in the 90s and you were, I don't know, stupid or something in, the first Guyver movie, and then the parents popped that on, oh, you were gonna be in for a shock.
Oh, yeah. This was starting to reach, Kill Bill levels of blood. Not, chop someone's head off and they turn into a fountain levels, but it was starting to get there. It is crazy, how much that PG-13 rating of the first one really held it back. And this one, too, I think was, half hour longer.
Yeah, so, this movie actually had pacing instead of trying to cram everything into, 85, 90 minutes. Again, the reason why I make the comparison to T2 is because it's honestly kind of a similar movie. I'm not saying it's on the levels of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, because Terminator 2 is, one of the greatest movies ever fucking made. We're not saying that, but it has that very, futuristic, punk vibes of having this unstoppable villain, and just the way that it's paced from where we meet John Connor as a young adolescent boy, and then we go throughout and find Sarah Connor, and then we go in the whole thing of the T-1000. It feels like the same level of escalation. This is not the fanciest script that's ever been around, but it's a good structure.
Yeah, which again, you can't really say about the first one. And no, the first one wasn't really a bad movie per se. Just
at least not by our standards.
just really kind of underwhelming in a lot of spots and just really didn't know what kind of tone it wanted. This one was from start to finish dark as hell,
Oh, yeah.
which I guess fans of the manga appreciated a lot more.
Well, not only that, but like David Hayter's performance, like he feels more like a protagonist. Like when he comes in and does like the voiceover, like it is like such an immediate night and day difference.
Oh, without question. And like I said, it's crazy that this is still like 4 years before he played Solid Snake, that he was already like this level. Like, I think we said the same thing when we watched Yellow Fangs and saw Babyface Sonata.
Yeah,
He was
it's
still
definitely
that good
yes.
back then. And he was still that good back then.
I mean, I actually did look this up while we were watching. For the first Guyver, there wasn't enough box office data because I'm not sure if they just did tracking back then. But it is really kind of a shame that at least in the United States, this didn't get a theatrical release or at least like a limited one. It was just straight direct to video. But it like kind of sucks. I mean, look, 1994, I still don't know if this was released into theaters, if there would be a place for this, because we're talking like post Jurassic Park. This is like the year Lion King and like Forrest Gump come out, like probably like one of the most goated years in cinema history. And it would have been like very hard to like kind of compete in that market. But you kind of wish that it had at least an opportunity, like a limited like New York or like LA run, and it's kind of a shame it never had that chance.
Yeah, like to at least like get some kind of niche community around it. Which this version that we found on YouTube at least had what'd you say, like over 1 million views on it?
Yeah. So people obviously like this movie.
And I mean, again, with good reason. It's a good movie. Which it's crazy to say that about a live action manga anime adaptation in the 90s. Like, those are hard to come by nowadays.
Yeah, like we're only just starting to get consistent stuff. But, you know, in like 1994, you know, we didn't have like Netflix, you know, spending like $20 million an episode on One Piece.
But yeah, this from the get-go was definitely more my style. Like, yeah, it was basically an extended episode of like Super Sentai or Kamen Rider, and you know what? That's my shit. So I'm good with that.
Like, unironically, like, I might actually watch this again for like fight scenes. Like, I actually like genuinely enjoyed this movie.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Like, if you're gonna watch either one of these movies, definitely this is the one to watch.
And honestly, like, you don't have to watch the original. I mean, they recap it pretty much, like, well enough. I mean, will you be a little lost and confused? Yeah. But are you missing much? Not
No.
really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you don't really lose a lot by missing the original. I mean, you lose the musical stylings of MC Stryker, but I think it's a worthy sacrifice to make.
Yeah, and if you love Pee Wee's Playhouse adjacent music, oh, sorry, you're just gonna have to take the L on this one, bro.
Yeah, which I don't know if we really talked about like how much better the music is in this too.
Oh my god, yes.
And like, it was distractingly unfitting in the first one, but here it's like, it does fit more of those Terminator 2 vibes.
Yeah, I mean, does it get like a little repetitive at times? Yeah, but still, like, it fits all the action and stuff that's going around. I mean, literally, like, if I could be honest, if they just played like a recorder pitched down, that would have felt more in tune than like whatever the hell was going on with the original movie. But this soundtrack fits in the world that this movie lives in.
Honestly, they could have played the one little looping soundtrack from Suspiciously, and that would have been more fitting.
I know you were gonna say that. God damn it! Suspicious. I'm judicious.
I'm zoanicious.
Zoanicious. You know what we should do? Like, if I had the talent, I would do this myself. We need to make like a suspiciously lyric generator where it just put "ishous" at the end of every word.
Oh god. That would be horrifying.
It would, but it would be incredible. Just like this movie.
You know what's even better is that I was expecting to make like a million Metal Gear jokes during this, but no, I was just too engrossed in it. Like, we barely talked during this.
Yeah, like, and this is probably the first time that we talked for a movie, because the other times we've been, like, near dead-ass silent. It's usually been, like, a complete irredeemable disaster. But it felt weird. I was like, wow, we're actually enjoying a movie unironically. This is so weird.
It has not happened on a lot of these. Like, I think it's just this, Sharktopus, the Chinese version, Yellow Fangs, and, like, Frogtown.
Or I think maybe we could count Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas too. After we got over the Gazoo stuff, it was fine the rest of the time.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, and this is what, episode 34 of this, and we can only count like 5 movies that didn't make us want to claw our eyes out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, some of the movies gave us like ecstasy. I mean, we were convulsing on the floor, like going, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, but we still had a good time.
Yeah, but that was ironic.
No, but this movie actually is, like, really good. If you're looking for, like, a solid, like, B-action movie with, like, not revolutionary special effects, but just, like, an all-around, like, well-put-together production, you could certainly do worse.
Oh, for sure. And like I said, we found this on YouTube, so it's not the hardest thing in the world to find either.
But I am glad for our deep dive that we went into something that we weren't as familiar with, so we were pretty unbiased. But I would definitely say if you are into, like, Power Rangers, Super Sentai, or, like, I would say, you know, Ultraman, like, adjacent kind of shit, like, you'd really enjoy this.
I mean, I'm into all that shit, and I enjoyed this.
So, yeah, this is going to be one of the few times we have an actual S tier. We ate good tonight. Please watch this movie. You'll thank us later.
Oh, show.
All right, so let's put this movie into our secret government briefcase so that we can protect its secret powers. But until next time, on our next cinematic adventure, Gio, where can everyone find you?
So, y'all can find me at captainstarbolt.bsky.social. It's not that long after we filmed the last one, so still mostly just talking about my OCs, and please, 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 please give me a Star Fox thing, Nintendo, I'm begging, please.
Please, pretty please. And if you want to hear about me rambling about cinema and like how people need to treat animation workers better, or me having the occasional intelligent thought, or just me being horny on main, you can follow me at crazylemur.bsky.social. I am also on Instagram at lemurs01, where I try to post more of my more, I don't want to say intimate, but my more casual content. Stuff for the normies, if you will. So if you want to just see pictures of my dog doing cute stuff, you could also, you know, just follow me there. But anyway, guys, that was another delicious entry into the culinary cinematic journey that is Le Crap. We'll see y'all next time.
Bitch.
I mean, to be fair, she earned it.